Memory, creativity, motivation. What would your daily life look like if you had more of these things? And what if you could improve these things by simply taking a capsule in the morning? Well, that's what Aniracetam does for a lot of people, or so they claim. Better memory, more creativity, more motivation. I've been taking a 750 milligram dose every day for the past 13 days. This is my last dose. Well, did it boost my creativity and my motivation? Short answer, yes, it did. Plus a few other things like less anxiety, more collective thinking, and I flow through work with this unique, calm urgency. Now there's a few things I definitely have to explain though, so stick around, grab a drink, and relax with me. And also give me a sec to let this kick in, and we will get into my 2-week Aniracetam experience. But first things first, Aniracetam or any other drug or supplement can have different effects on different people. So nothing that I say in this video here is medical advice, and you should always consult with your doctor before you take a new drug or supplement. I'm simply sharing my experience with this product for purely educational and entertainment purposes only. Now that the disclaimer is out of the way, let's go ahead and get into the video. So a few nights ago, I was driving to the store having had Aniracetam earlier in the day, and I was just casually thinking, as you do when you're driving alone, and I thought to myself, holy crap. My thoughts are really organized. Like I was able to have a thought and fully think that thought through before moving on to the next thought. And that might sound completely normal for most of you, but I went, holy smokes. This 100% has to do with Aniracetam, because typically my brain is very ADD, ADHD, and it always has been. I've never been medically diagnosed with anything, but my thoughts are often very scattered. It's like I have 20 different browser tabs open in my brain pretty much all the time. But with Aniracetam, it really helps me keep my thoughts in line. I don't know the best way to explain it other than very organized thoughts and thinking. But then in preparation for this video, I came across an article on examine.com, and there's this line. Anecdotally, Aniracetam has been known to aid in collective and holistic thinking, or putting the pieces of the puzzle together. And when I read that, I went, yo, that is exactly what I was thinking the other night in the car. So that is one of the main benefits for myself. But it doesn't just help me think more clearly. I'm also getting tasks and work done more efficiently as well. And that's the next thing I noticed. Can't fucking start. When I'm working on the computer and on Aniracetam, I'm very much in the zone. Not in a wired or buzzed way as if you took Adderall or a lot of caffeine or hit the crack pipe, but there was this calm urgency. And with a sense of calm urgency, you can often work better and in less time. I spent less time thinking about the bother of the job itself and just got on with it. And see, for me, that's a significant benefit, because going back to my ADD thought processes, that manifests in work as well. When I'm working on one part of my project, I often get distracted and go start on another part or go back to where I left off on something, and I just kind of go back and forth between tasks. Now with Aniracetam, I just focus on one part at a time, very fluently, easily, and gracefully, without any anxiety about the work, the deadline, or the client, etc., as if I'm in a constant flow state. It's great. By the way, for work, I'm a full-time video editor, which is a very creative intensive job. And I have to be creative, make creative decisions, which I naturally can do, that's why it's my job. But I found for me that Aniracetam does help in that creative process as well. I wouldn't say that it necessarily helps me be more creative, but allows for the expression of that creativity to flow out a lot smoother and easier. I think that was good, dude. One take is all you need on Aniracetam. Oh my god.
Now, another part of my daily life is phone calls like this with clients and colleagues. And with Aniracetam, words just flow out of my mouth a lot better. I mean, it makes sense, right? If I'm experiencing more collective thinking, I can process what I want to say faster and more accurately. See, sometimes I'm thinking something, but when I try to communicate it, it gets butchered because I can't find the right words, or I get too much social anxiety thinking about what I'm trying to say next. And Aniracetam just helps me with that personally.
Now, anxiety is something that I dance with on a regular basis, and when I saw research being done on Aniracetam and anxiety, I was intrigued. See, with Aniracetam, I do notice less anxiety in my daily life. Now, it doesn't completely go away, but it is more tolerable and more manageable. And see, my thought process behind this is if I'm thinking more clearly and able to think each thought out and process it easier, it's probably less stress on my brain and on my emotions. See, usually my thoughts are all scattered, like I said, from one thing to the next, and it oftentimes feels like everything is happening all at once, which can create a sense of anxiousness. But there's just not much of that when I'm taking Aniracetam. But disclaimer, if you struggle with anxiety like I do, I would not take this just to help with anxiety. See, Aniracetam is being studied for anxiety and depression currently, but there's no definitive conclusions that it will cure it or rid you of it, and that's not what I'm implying. But it does help slightly mitigate the anxiousness, at least for me, and that's just a bonus benefit. Now, everything I just talked about seems great, yes, but it wasn't spectacular every day. Some days the effects were significant and magnificent and I felt amazing, but some days they were just noticeable. And that's probably due to other factors coming into play, such as sleep, what I ate, stress levels, yada yada yada. But overall, on average, Aniracetam is a very solid and promising experience for me. I didn't experience any side effects either, like headaches or dependency or anything like that. But just to note, on some days that I took it, my arms would get pretty itchy on the forearm area, especially when I wore a long sleeve. Not sure why this is, I couldn't find anything on it, but I just thought I'd mention that. But remember, good or bad, what it did for me is what it did for me, and not necessarily what it'll do for you. See, some people take it and feel no difference. I'm just a good responder to it, and my anecdotal experience seems to match quite accurately with the research on Aniracetam. And speaking of the research, let's make something clear. Human studies are lacking, and more clinical research needs to be done for sure. But there's good news that research is being done. It's currently being studied for usage in depression, anxiety, and things like Alzheimer's. But the research that is already concluded is mixed. Some say it's positive, some say it's neutral, but generally well tolerated by most people. There are potential side effects though, as with any drug or supplement, things like headaches, diarrhea, nausea, you know what I'm talking about, the basics. But like I've been saying, it just depends on the person. Iced coffee, really just be hitting different sometimes. So that's that. My 2-week Aniracetam experience has been very positive, and it's definitely something I'm gonna keep on hand. Now, I'm not gonna continue taking it every day forever. I will probably be cycling this. Probably 1 week off, 1 week on, every other day, or only when I feel like I need it. Not sure yet, but I definitely will cycle. And it's pretty cheap too. It's relatively inexpensive. And before I forget, my Aniracetam is actually all out. That really was my last dose, like I said, but I just started experimenting with, hold on, let me get the focus here, Oxiracetam. Now this is my first time ever taking this. Today I'm on it right now. So if you want to see a video about this, let me know. And you know what? If I held your attention this far into the video, do me a favor and drop a like, because it really does help support the channels. It's one of the best ways to support me if you like my content. And let me know, have you tried Aniracetam or any other smart drugs or nootropics? Because I would love to hear your experience in a comment down below. And if you vibed with me and you enjoyed my style, then I would appreciate if you went ahead and subscribe to the channel, because I checked my analytics, 91% of my viewers who watch my videos are not subscribed. So if that's you, it would mean the world to me if you hit that button if I earn your subscription. And with that being said, folks, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, I appreciate your time, and I will see you in my next video.
#1 victory royale, yeah, Fortnite, we bout to get down. 10 kills on the board right now, just wiped out Tomato Town. My friend just gone down, I revived him, now we're heading southbound. Now we're in the Pleasant Park streets, look at the map, go to the marked sheet.